This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
So if you've spent any time with me here on the platform at all, you know that I've talked about the cult surrounding Donald Trump. And the fact that he is no longer president, the fact that he was defeated soundly, did not diminish the strength or the passion of that cult. Chief among them, maybe chief among them, is Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy, who right now, I'm going to play two clips. We're going to talk about two things that Mike Lindell is doing right now that are just, look, mental illness is a serious thing. And I don't mean to diminish it or make fun of those who suffer from it. But sometimes when you look at a guy like Mike Lindell, the only difference between him and his behaviors that he's displaying right now and someone that you feel sorry for on the street who's talking to themselves, the only difference is this guy has a platform and you want to give money to the other one to make sure that they're being taken care of and they have enough to meet their needs. And I say that, I guess it kind of comes across as jokey, but it's not. Mike Lindell might be in crisis, and that's not a joke. I want to talk about these two things because it is, either he's in crisis or he's just a dumb guy. Like a dumb guy who can't wash himself and take care of himself. That's stupid. He is not only, well, and then also it's dangerous because he has money. But he is starting his own social media platform because we're going to bring back our First Amendment because apparently the First Amendment isn't a thing. The government has the right to stomp on your freedom of speech, to take away your freedom of speech. Congress shall make no law. But he is starting his own because apparently his freedom of speech is being suppressed by the government, which isn't happening because he doesn't understand what the First Amendment is. The other thing is that he is filing lawsuits right now to have the 2020 election reversed. He thinks all of his evidence is going to go before the Supreme Court, and he thinks Donald Trump is going to be president again in August. This is akin to the QAnon nutter buttery. The QAnon people who thought Donald Trump would be president in like March 24th. It didn't happen, obviously. So anyway, let's start with this first clip. This is him on Christian Broadcasting Network. This is him on Pat Robertson's network. They're giving him space. They're giving him airtime to air his grievances, to ramble on about his social media network that he's starting. Watch this.
It's going to be all the influencers. It's going to bring back our free speech where influencers and people that have print, podcast, and TV can say what they can say, actually go talk out there without getting taken down by YouTube.
Are there going to be any parameters about it? Any way that you're going to try and control for content that you would not like?
Well, we're not going to allow it. Most of these are influencers. We're not going to allow pornography and the things you would not allow, but we are certainly going to let people talk about things. You talk about anything the administration's doing, like the borders. So you're going to be able to talk about, the platform is called Frank, and Frank means free, forthright, and sincere expression. So we're bringing back our First Amendment right of free speech, and that's what's been suppressed in our country. They're canceling us out, taking away our First Amendment, and this is going to just get by all that. It's going to get around that where we don't have to rely on your Apples and your Amazons and your YouTubes and your Googles and your suckerbucks from Facebook and all these people that are just completely suppressing us. It's like, it almost feels like we're in a communist country, or there's back in Nazi Germany when the first thing they take away is your communications, and then they cancel you out. And it's terrible what's going on.
Madness. There is so much there to talk about. First, the last thing that he talked about there, it feels... Listen, I know Donald Trump, I love the poorly educated. I know that's his line. I know that those were his people. Those were his most mad fanatics. But to say that right now in the United States of America, it feels like Nazi Germany, where they first take away your communications and then they cancel you out. He knows that 6 million Jews weren't just kicked off of YouTube, right? They weren't canceled out. They were murdered en masse in a genocide. That's what the Holocaust was, my pillow goof. You're minimizing what took place by comparing yourself, a millionaire in America who can just go on CBN and talk and have a platform, to victims in World War II. And then Suckabucks from, is that like a joke? Because he knew everybody else's name. And we're bringing back, which means they don't have it now. It's been taken away, bringing back their First Amendment rights. The First Amendment has nothing to do with whether or not a corporation gives you a platform. MyPillow, Mike Lindell. It is Congress shall make no law. The government cannot restrict your free speech rights. That is what the First Amendment is. Your First Amendment right is robust, as evidenced by your media appearance. Maybe I should join the Frank Speech channel to see just how long they let me have my free speech. It would be a nice little experiment. Maybe they would televise my charity boxing match that I'm trying to get going with Tucker Carlson. And then the other dodge there when she asks, what kind of content are you gonna guard against? Well, we're not going to allow pornography and the things you wouldn't allow. Super specific, Mike Lindell. Super specific. And then the other clip here is him on Steve Bannon's show. Steve Bannon, the white supremacist that used to work in the White House with Donald Trump. Steve Bannon. And even Steve Bannon is pushing back. Even Steve Bannon seems a little uncomfortable with the nuttiness of his claim that he's going to take all the evidence I have, everything is going to go before the Supreme Court. The election of 2020 is going to go bye-bye, he says. Watch this.
What I'm talking about, Steve, is what I have been doing since January 9th. All the evidence I have, everything is going to go before the Supreme Court, and the election of 2020 is going bye-bye. It was an attack by other country, communism coming in. I don't know what they're going to do with it after they pull it down, but it's
but hang on a second.
Hold on. Donald Trump will be back in office in August.
So again, and not attacking people who suffer from mental illness, which is a real serious thing that should be treated accordingly. But is this delusion? Is he sick? Does he need help? Or what's happening? Because he is saying he believes Donald Trump is going to be back in office due to the cancellation of the 2020 election, which for which there is no mechanism. There is no legal standard or precedent to cancel an election because he's bringing a lawsuit with all of his evidence. and they're going to reverse the election? Even Steve Bannon's, whoa, hang on, let's When Steve Bannon is the reasonable one between two people, you might want to reflect on what your position is. And also, talking about communism coming in, this is not a problem unique to Mike Lindell. These idiots who have no idea what communism is, who think Obama was a communist, who think Joe Biden is a radical socialist. Joe Biden? Let me tell you, I've got friends who are socialists, who may even consider themselves communists. They don't like Joe Biden. He's not one of them. Come on. This, I thought, would go away quicker. I thought some of the madness that circled, that revolved around Donald Trump would slowly fade into the sunset. It would evaporate slowly after Donald Trump left, especially in the wake of him being canceled by not having a Twitter account. That is not the case. People are taking up the mantle, as it were, to fight against their constitutional rights of the government taking away their free speech because they can't tweet. Anyway, My Pillow guy, if you're out there, if you need some help, I hope you get the help you need. Otherwise, I hope you fail miserably in these endeavors. I hope you are laughed out of I know you'll be laughed out of a courtroom. There isn't a chance that the Supreme Court of these United States will hear your nonsense claims in an effort to overturn a free and fair democratic election. Speaking of communism. Anyway, I would love to know what you think out there. Please give me a call. Leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. If my videos daily or almost daily here on YouTube are not quite enough for you, I don't know why they wouldn't be. You can check out my podcast, weekly podcast called I Doubt It. This is not the podcast. This is video. Podcasts are an audio, digital. You download it from your phone. You subscribe with a podcatcher. You can catch me on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, everywhere there's podcasts. You can just go to dollemore.com and play it right from the web there. Anyway, I would invite you. You'd have a good time. It's a lot more free form, less buttoned up, as if you will, and it's a good time. Anyway, I would also encourage you, if you were in a position to do so, and I bring value to you, to support my work here on YouTube by becoming a channel member. You can click the join button there, and for fewer than $2 a month, you can help support independent media just like this to grow and to cover topics like this that you're not going to hear on traditional outlets, your networks. Anyway, I love you guys. Connect with me on social media. I would love to see you there. I will see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.